Hi everyone, this is Priyanka working as Assistant Professor in SNS College of Technology. Today we are just going to see a lecture series in the subject cryptography. First, we are just going to see about the semantic key cryptographies. In that, we are just going to see in detail about the substitution techniques. Now, let us see what are all the objectives we are just going to learn. First, the objective of this substitution technique is it is used to understand the concepts of the substitution techniques. It is also used to identify different types of substitution ciphers. Here, to perform encryption and decryption using basic substitution methods. These objectives mainly helps students to move from theoretical understanding to practical applications, which is essential in the cryptography studies. First of all, let us see what is substitution techniques. Here, a substitution technique, it is a cryptographic method where each character in the plaintext is replaced by another character, numbers, or the systems. The structure of the message remains the same, but the symbols are altered due to height or the original information. This technique is a simple yet powerful for introducing encryption concepts to the beginners. So let's see what are all the types of cryptography. Generally, cryptography mainly consists of symmetric key cryptography, asymmetric key cryptography. In the case of symmetric key cryptography, it is consists of classical cryptography and modern cryptography. In that modern cryptography, it mainly consists of stream cipher, block cipher, whereas in the classical encryption, it mainly consists of transposition cipher and substitution cipher. Next, let us see the types of substitution techniques. Substitution techniques mainly includes CCS cipher, monoalphabetic cipher, Playfair cipher, Hill cipher, polyalphabetic cipher, one-time path cipher. These are all the types of substitution cipher. In this, let us see the CCS cipher. First of all, CCS cipher. It is one of the earliest and simplest substitution cipher. And that is, historically, it is used by Julius Caesar for military communication. Those days in the military communication for sending the messages, they have been used this Caesar cipher. Here that each letter in the plain text is shifted by a fixed number of positions. Commonly, we can just tell it as 3 in the alphabets. For example, A is replaced by D and B is replaced by E and C is replaced by F. This cipher mainly demonstrates the basic ideas of key-based substitution and it is widely used for educational purposes. Next, let us see. This cipher mainly used to introduce the students to structured encryption rules and matrix-based logics. Here, it is a 5 cross 5 matrix with any keywords. That means it mainly avoids duplicates. Let us see how we are just fixing this. Let us take a keyword that is monarchy. That is M-O-N-A-R-C-H-Y. First, we have to place all these letters and then we have to see that the A is already it has been placed in the position that is next. We are just going to see letter B. B is not in the word monarchy, so we are just placing it as B. Then C. C is already available. Then D. Then E, F, G, and so on. So here I and J they are in the same box in which we should not write it in any other position. We have to write it in the same box. This is Playfair cipher. Next, we are just going to see the Hill cipher. Here, Hill cipher, here M is equal to 3, general form. Here, the formula for the Hill cipher is that is C1, C2, C3. That is equal to K11, K12, K13. It is in the form of a matrix multiplication. We are just dividing it, we are just giving the formula as C is equal to E into K comma P, that is equal to Kp mod 26. K is the value of K11 to K33, whereas P is P1, P2, P3 finally, we have to find the mod 26. This is called as the Hill cipher. Next, let us take a case or problem statement to understand this, in which the students can understand the portions more easily. In general, a junior network security analyst wants to secure the messages using simple encryption so that unauthorized users cannot understand them. Now let us see the empathy part. The empathy part, we have to know the situation of the junior network security analyst. Here the situation of the junior network analyst is he wants a simple and quick encryption techniques. He is a bigger in cryptography, in which he needs easy to implement security. So he is much worried about the unauthorized access. This is the empathy part. Next from the pilot question, that is your ideate. Here we are just providing the two types of CCS, that is CCS cipher and monoalphabetic cipher, in which we are just going to choose which one is the best. Let's see which one is the best. Come to prototype, in which we have been taken as the CCS cipher as the best choice for this. As I said, CCS cipher that has a shift of 3 characters, in which a letter A becomes a D and the letter B becomes E. In this process, the plaintext will be converted into the ciphertext, and then finally the ciphertext will be converted into the plaintext. Let us have an apply for the students. Let me give an example that you just try it. That is, we are just encrypting the word security using the CCS cipher with a shift of +3. As I said, you just try it out. What is the ciphertext for this text? Security. Next, we are just going to see the applications. It is used in secure communication, and it is also used in military and historical communication. It is also used for puzzle and game design, in which it is also used in educational tools and simulation. Let us see a real world example. As I said, Julius Caesar military communication. In the case of a Julius Caesar military communication, Julius Caesar, a Roman military leader, used the Caesar cipher to send secret messages to his army general, in which they are using the Caesar cipher for the communication, so that the sender or receiver only knows about the messages, in which the others cannot read the messages at any time. This is a real world example of the substitution technique, in which they used a Caesar cipher. Here's a small assessment for you students. Caesar cipher is a type of transposition, substitution, hashing, or steganography. Let us just Caesar cipher is a type of substitution techniques, in which lastly we'll just see what have been just seen in this series. Is first substitution techniques. We have seen what is substitution techniques, that is its definition. We have seen the types of substitution ciphers, and we have seen cryptography context, and then we have seen application. We had a short assessment. Okay, thank you.